You take your eyes to Loma's front foot, that lead foot. He always tries to get that front foot outside his opponent.
Absolutely critical for a southpaw, so that they have the advantage to shoot that straight left hand. There it comes with it as he fires it for the first time.
I wait on that power jab that Linares was talking about.
Linares mentioned that all week long, the power jab.
It's gonna be technical in the beginning. Both guys got to see what one another has.
Linares said, I want to see his timing before I commit to using my power. He knows exactly where that foot is because he's been facing a steady diet of southpaws in large measure in preparation for Lomachenko.
He knows where that foot is, but Lomachenko, he changes levels. He gives you different looks. He probes at that jab. He sticks it out there. He makes you believe that just that jab is going to come, and then he comes behind with something else, with another punch, maybe to the body, maybe even to the head.
Interesting you talk about the different levels, Tim, because I would say both guys acquit themselves very, very well, whether it's in, mid, or long range. Of course, there's been much talk about the fact that Linares would prefer to take advantage of the size behind that jab at range. The chance for Loma have already started up here at MSG.
But you look at Linares' head is staying right in the middle. Look at Loma. He gets that head off a line. Look, just like there. He gets that head off a line. Off the line. That's the firing range there. That's what he does well. He always positions his body out of the firing range. That firing lane, that range, where you can be hit.
Loma came in, tried to place a left hand to the body, and there was a little return fire with a right hand from Linares.
Remember one thing as it pertains to range, Linares has a 3.5-inch advantage. He'd like to keep this on the outside.
You can see across the shoulders as well, and that muscular back of Linares is just naturally the bigger man. And then you rehydrate after the weigh-in yesterday, and it's so noticeable. Left hand to the body from Lomachenko. End of one.
When I was in camp, things stopped when Mr. Honda, his Japanese promoter and manager, came to watch him spar. The gym was closed for the 9 rounds. And what Mr. Honda did afterward, forget managing, he trained him. And they spent a lot of time on the power jab and power shots in general.
He was promoted exclusively for many years by Mr. Honda, Tokyo-based promotions, and then a co-promotional agreement in 2010 with Golden Boy Promotions. And give Golden Boy, Mr. Honda, as well as Top Rank, a lot of credit for what often doesn't happen in this business. Crossing boxing's business and political lines to make the fight that fans want to see. That's what we have here.
In this case, Mr. Honda was a respected peacemaker. And in essence, a diplomat between the two camps. But why this really happened is because of Jorge Linares. This is what he sees as his signature fight, and he appealed to what's best in Lomachenko to make it happen.
Good combination from Lomachenko. Touched him to the body and then split the guard upstairs.
He appealed to what's best and most honorable in Lomachenko, saying, let's put aside politics. I'll tell my people to make this happen. You tell yours. Instead of using Twitter as a device for cheap provocation, you know, he made it something. He made it a point of honor.
Linares standing that mid-distant range right there. Got clipped with that combination by Loma. Like I told you, sometimes he don't seem like he knows what he's doing in there. Use that jab.
You see those little dance steps from Loma. Greg Bishop from Sports Illustrated, a really interesting piece suggesting he had the best feet in all of sports, better than Federer, Antonio Brown. Really extraordinary.
And remember, The seed that was planted when he was a young man. He started to learn boxing at only 4 years old, his stance, how to throw a punch. Then he was pulled out of boxing to do traditional Ukrainian dance classes. His father, Anatoly, who's by his side to this day, didn't let him return to fight until he was 13. Those Ukrainian dance classes, he says all the time, have paid off with the angles. There's body work down from Linares.
Watch how beautifully he moves to his right, Lomachenko. And, you know, Linares is a pretty slick guy to be throwing punches at air.
Well, Linares is doing well this round, in my opinion.
I agree.
He's hitting Loma with some good shots over the top. He's staying home, and he's returning fire. He knows he's the bigger guy. He has the longer arms. When Loma stays there a little bit too long, you see Linares step to him with combinations.
See, here's the beauty of Loma as defensive prowess that we rave about like a Mayweather or Pernell Whitaker. A willingness to do that. Good exchange, end of round 2. 51 years old back in 2007. Let's go back to the last round, Tim. Saw that combination from Loma.
Well, this is one way to do it. You step inside, you go to the body, but body against a bigger man. Split the guard there with the uppercut. But how he did it, he stepped on Linares' feet, kept him stand still right there for just a moment, and worked that combination.
It's a Ukrainian dance move.
That's right. And critical. And Tim, you said it right from the start. Watch the front feet of both men. Often an indicator when you see Southpaw versus Orthodox as to who's having their way.
Watch for a clash of heads, too, because as we know, Linares is susceptible to cuts.
In 8 different fights, he's been cut. He was cut back in January.
Linares just threw an uppercut. That's a punch. That's a secret weapon that he has that I think could be very, very susceptible that Lomachenko is going to get hit with or get caught with. He sometimes comes in the middle. If he can time him perfectly when he's attacking, he can hit him with that uppercut.
Bernardo was just in the corner of Lomachenko. Bernardo, what can you tell us?
Anatoly, his father, is actually quite concerned with the low blows that he sees Linares throwing and the rabbit punches. So he told Vasiliy, be careful with those 2 things.
Tim, what do you make of that?
I don't see any low blows that he's landed. Have you seen any low blows?
Well, not that Ricky Gonzalez has called out, nor that Lomachenko has shown any effect from. There's been some work to the belt line, but nothing that has strayed beyond that. Here's a split the guard left hand from Lomachenko. Now he gets into the pocket, drew up the combination. Linares gets space on it.
I'm surprised that Linares is actually just standing right in front of him.
Comes in with a right hand against Lomachenko, blocked by the elbow.
Slowly, you're going to see Lomachenko turn it up, find his spots and his moments, and break down that defense of Linares.
Good example of you think he's there, and then all of a sudden he isn't there as Lomachenko goes out to the right. Mark, you said look for that. We see it. There's a left uppercut from Linares. Good body work and a combination from Lomachenko. He landed that left hand just under the right elbow of Jorge Linares.
Loma's starting to turn it up.
And as soon as Linares thinks he knows where he is, he disappears to the right. Lomachenko.
Defensive master, but yet offensive-minded. The best of both worlds. End of 3. World Championship, Linares and Lomachenko. Saw a lot of what we always rave about from Lomachenko in that last round. Bernardo was in the corner of Linares after that 3rd round. Bernardo, what are they concerned with?
Well, Rudy Hernandez was telling Jorge Linares, you've got to keep your punches short. Use your uppercut, don't load up, and keep throwing punches up the middle, but you've got to work everything off the jab.
According to CompuBox, he has thrown more punches than Lomachenko. Both fighters landing at 27%. There is the tally.
Loma's getting real busy now, working his combinations up and down, especially with that straight left hand. He changes levels, gets his head out.
little up jab coming off that right hip, Tim.
He got his head off the line and threw that up jab.
Combination, it included a left hand to the body, and then it finished with a left hand upstairs.
If I was Linares, I would try to push the fight a little bit further out. He's too close. Loma's gonna have his way with him.
I wonder if Linares misses the voice of Ismail Salas, with whom he's 13-0. We went to England to train David Hay. Maybe it was a bigger payday or perhaps a lack of judgment. But Rudy Hernandez is in his corner.
Gonzalez is going to have to separate him. And the warning from the referee to Linares.
Yeah, those were some dirty shots behind the head. That's called rabbit punching. That's illegal. Maybe Linares is getting a little frustrated.
Well, that is one of the questions that is always needed to be answered against Lomachenko. Handling the frustration. Can Linares handle the pressure of Loma's mental warfare with the physical warfare with aplomb? Will he stay cool, stay to the plan as this crowd roars with the angles and moves of Lomachenko?
High pace, moves around a guy. Ooh.
There's a right hand from Linares.
He timed him with that right hand.
That was nice. And right back to the jab is Lomachenko.
Talk about Lomachenko.
Lead right uppercut.
Breaking down his opponents is something he can sense in their beat, in their rhythm. They take some pauses. That's when he pounces.
Great world event, Tim.
Yes, he did. Bud Cropper, one of the best. You know, a lot of people have him #2 on the pound-for-pound list. I've had him #1. Depends on how Loma looks tonight. Loma can get this third world championship, he will be moving the #1 position, in my opinion.
You're biased, Tim.
No.
In some respects, you discovered Bud Crawford in a sparring session, which ended with him really having his way with you for that time.
For now, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter, according to ESPN.com, is in the ring. Lomachenko, round number 5.
Who are you? Who are you? Where'd you come from?
Who are you, Bud?
Just Omaha.
I have to mention, size does make a big difference. It does. But only if you use it in the right way. Linares has a 2-inch reach advantage. Linares is physically bigger and stronger. Why doesn't he use that reach advantage? Why doesn't he use that height?
Because
stay on the outside.
Lomachenko's not letting him.
Naturally, smaller man is stalking the bigger champion. Tried to come with that right uppercut, and as soon as he does, Loma's in the pocket, return fire with a 2-punch combination from Linares. But look at Lomachenko, comfortable in that hot kitchen. Wrapping up that right arm as Gonzalez will break him. There's an angle, lost his footing for a moment just as he was throwing that left hand. But you see how the angles of Lomachenko can create the offensive opportunity.
Beautiful angles, getting off that line, spinning around his opponent, firing combinations, going down to the body, adjusting his height.
Some blood coming from the nose of the champ, Jorge Linares. And there is a warning for a low blow from Linares. Anatoly was concerned, said Bernardo Osuna.
Linares choosing to stand in mid-distance range, trying to land combinations, and Loma's having his way with him in spots.
Against his own interest, you know, the bigger man wants to be outside in this case.
Yes.
The smaller man wants to be in. And there really is quite a size difference. You can just see it.
Did you see him make Linares miss with that right hand by slipping out to his right hand?
for Lomachenko.